Hi! Welcome to this part of my review featuring Children of the Fall. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review, featuring this post-apocalypse GMless game, that is, you play it with your group, but without a game master, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about how to play the game. Each session follows the same basic structure. Step 1. Select and customize a mission. Step 2. Take turns framing scenes over 4 arcs. Step 3. Update Haven and Tribe Shit. Before the game can begin, the players need to choose a mission. Missions are the frameworks that give your session its initial focus and context. There are a variety of different missions to choose from. Make sure these are printed out from the back of the book in preparation for your first session. Each session takes place over 4 acts. In each act, all the players will take a turn to frame a scene. So over the course of the game, each player will have the opportunity to frame 4 scenes. Acts can be thought of as more than a simple round marker. However, it is advisable to keep the potential structure of the narrative in the back of your mind when it comes to time to frame your scene. The acts are tracked on the mission sheet. On your turn, you are known as the active player. All the other players are the reactive players. Reactive players are still playing. They are just not in charge of framing and directing the scene. On your turn, you need to frame a scene by describing who and what is involved, and then play it out. Explain what the scene looks like, where and when it takes place, and who is there with your character and what is happening at the start of the scene. Remember that unlike a normal tabletop role-playing game, this is actually a story game. So when you are the active player, you need to frame a scene. To do this, you describe when and where the scene takes place, who is present, and give a brief introduction as to where our characters find themselves. Once the scene has been set up, then play begins. The other players will describe the actions of their characters if they are present in the scene. This game effectively combines the aspects of role-playing and storytelling. As the active player, you will roleplay and describe the actions of your character, as well as what is going on in the rest of the scene, describing how the environment and non-player characters react to you and your fellow players' actions. Combining scene framing and role-playing can feel strange at first, but this section has you covered with examples, guidelines, and advice. When it comes to story points, these are tokens to represent your ability to add complications into other players' scenes. And this is where the dice rolling and drama really kicks into a game. When you are playing a campaign game, you will keep track of your number of story points between games. Every time you add a complication to another player's scene, you give that player one of your story points. This could potentially add trauma to their character, but also gives them more agency in further scenes because of their surplus of story points. So it's a sort of give and take. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part, we are going to talk about dice, complications, and many other things. So as you can see, this game effectively combines the best when it comes to role-playing with storytelling. It is very different from your average tabletop RPG. Because there is no game master, you will have to frame things constantly. You will think about the story that is being created, but also the role that you are playing. So it's very different from your average tabletop RPG. Thank you for watching this part of the review, and thank you for your likes and your comments. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. And remember, it is better to roleplay and fail in character than not to roleplay and fail as a player. Once again, thank you, and see you later.